Once upon a mountaintop, 3 little trees stood and dreamed of what they wanted to become when they grew up. The first little tree looked up at the stars.
I want to hold treasure. I want to be covered with gold and filled with precious stones. I'll be the most beautiful treasure chest in the world.
The second little tree looked out at the small stream trickling by on its way to the ocean.
I shall sail mighty waters and carry powerful kings. I should be the strongest ship in the world.
The third little tree looked down into the valley below, where busy men and women worked in a busy town.
I don't want to leave this mountaintop at all. I want to grow so tall so that when people stop to look at me, they raise their eyes to heaven and think of God. I will be the tallest tree in the world.
Years passed, the rain came, the sun shone, and the little trees grew tall. One day, a woodcutter climbed up the mountain. This first woodcutter looked at the first tree.
This tree is beautiful. It's perfect for me.
With a swoop of a shining axe, the first tree fell.
Now I shall be made into a beautiful chest. I shall hold wonderful treasure.
After some time, another woodcutter climbed up the mountain and looked at the second tree.
This tree is strong. It is perfect for me.
With a swoop of a shining axe, the second tree fell.
Now I shall sail mighty waters and carry powerful kings. I will be the strongest ship in the world.
After some time, another woodcutter climbed up the mountain and looked at the third tree, and the third tree felt her heart sink. She stood straight and tall, but the woodcutter was not concerned about the quality of the tree.
Any kind of tree is good for me.
With a swoop of a shining axe, the third tree fell. The first tree rejoiced when the woodcutter brought him into a carpenter shop, but the carpenter fashioned the tree into a feed box for animals. The once beautiful tree was not covered with gold nor with treasure. He was coated with sawdust and filled with hay for hungry farm animals. The second tree smiled when the woodcutter took her to a shipyard, but no mighty sailing ship was made that day. Instead, the once strong tree was hammered and sawed into a simple fishing boat. She was too small and too weak to sail on an ocean or even a river. Instead, she was taken to a little lake. The third tree was confused when the woodcutter cut her into strong beams and left her in a lumber yard.
What happened? All I ever wanted was to stay on the mountaintop and point to God.
Many, many days and nights passed. The three little trees nearly forgot their dreams. But one night, golden starlight poured over the first tree as a young woman placed her newborn baby in the feed box. And suddenly, the first tree knew he was holding the greatest treasure in the world. One evening, a tired traveler and his friends crowded into the old fishing boat. The traveler fell asleep as the second tree quietly sailed out into the lake. Soon, a thundering and thrashing storm arose. The little tree shuddered. It did not have the strength to carry so many passengers safely through the wind and the rain. The tired man awakened. He stood up, stretched out his hands, and said, "Peace." And suddenly, the second tree knew he was carrying the King of heaven and earth. One Friday morning, the third tree was startled as she was carried through an angry and jeering crowd. She shuddered when a soldier nailed a man's hands to her. She felt ugly and harsh and cruel. But on Sunday morning, when the sun rose and the earth trembled with joy beneath her, the third tree knew that God's love had changed everything. It had made the third tree strong, and every time people thought of the third tree, they would think of God. That was better than being the tallest tree